right, so go ahead and fill in your first definition. Volume is the amount of space an object.
How do what?
The amount of space.
Volume is the amount of space. So surface area was covering an object. Volume is how much space, how much you can put inside of it. So volume is the amount of space an object occupies, and it is measured in cubic units. So now, all of your things should be labeled with like inches cubed or centimeters cubed. Okay, surface area was squared. These are going to be cubed. Okay. That's your only definition for today. That's what volume is. Let's go ahead and look at what you're going to have for your equations. I told you there's a bunch of them. So they're broken down like we did before. Prism, cylinder, pyramid, cone, and then the new one is sphere, because we haven't done much with a sphere before. Okay? So prism. Volume is equal to BH. Help me define B and H. You should know both of these because we've done it before, but I just want it fresh in your brain. So Rihanna, what is B?
Area of bases.
Area of your base. Yeah, I like that you said plural. That's actually probably better because you have two bases, so it's the area of your bases. What is this H? Christian?
Height of bases.
Not of bases. I think you're saying it wrong. I think you know what you're talking about.
Height of base.
Height of base? No. Height between or distance between. So what I would say is it's the height of the object. Of your entire three-dimensional object. And another way to say that is the distance between the bases. Your height is the distance between your bases. Are we okay with that? So in that formula, is anything new? No, that's all the same as surface area, right? Okay. All right, cylinder. You could use B times H again, but instead of using B, which is area of your base, what's the shape of your bases every time you're working with a cylinder? What? Circle. Your base is a circle. How do you find the area of a circle? Oh man.
2 pi.
Not 2 pi r, that's circumference.
Pi r squared.
Pi r squared. So instead of the B, pi r squared, and then your H. Pyramid is on there, 1/3 BH. If you struggle with how to work with fractions on your calculator, instead of multiplying by 1/3, what could you do?
Multiply it by 3.
Divide it
Or, yeah.
by 3. Yep. So multiply your numbers and then divide by 3 and it'll give you the same thing. So if you don't know how to do fractions, that's my approach. Cone, again. Instead of 1/3 BH, replace the B with pi r squared. And then sphere volume is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. Again, I think those all kind of look similar to what we've done before, so I don't think any of those are going to be a problem, are they? Yeah.
So the only thing that changed is just like instead of 1/2, it's 1/3.
Well, the 1/2 only showed up if we were working with bases that were triangles, though, remember? So those were not permanent in the formula.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
These are permanently in there. Those are not attached to anything, so they're actually there. Okay. Questions? Okay, let's go to our shape.
Wait, I have a question.
Oh, yep, go.
Never mind.
That was a short-lived question. Number 1. First thing I want you to answer, generally, very generically, is what you're looking at a prism or a pyramid?
Prism.
It is a prism. Now, be more specific what kind of prism. So identify the bases. Triangular prism. Okay, so volume for a prism is B times H. If it's helpful, again, I had you do that in surface area, outline your base, or you could even just draw your base separately. If that helps, whatever you need to do to be able to identify that a triangle is your base. How are we doing with that?
Good.
Okay. Capital B is the area of the base. So if our base is a triangle, how do I find the area of a triangle? 1/2 base times height. Now look at that. Do you see that you actually have 2 H's in there? Are these H's the same? Charles is saying no. This H is the height of the triangle. What is this H? Height or distance between bases. Okay. That's probably the hardest part about this, is that you have 2 heights. One is just of your triangle, one is of your entire 3-dimensional object. How are we doing with that? Okay. So on this triangle, looking at that picture, what is the base of my triangle? What is the base? What is the dimension? What is the measurement? How big is the base of my triangle? 5. How big is the height of my triangle? 12. Times, what is the height of my entire object? 4. Good. Okay, so plug it in. 5 times 12 will get you 60. Divided by 2 will get you 30. So basically 30 times 4.
120.
120, what would your label be? And it's cubed because it's volume. Good. 120 millimeters cubed. Questions with that at all? Okay.
Hold up. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. So we did 5 times 12, right?
Which is 60.
And then we times about 1/2 after that.
Sure, or divided it by 2, however you want to plug it in. Are you okay?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Anybody else before we move on? No? Okay, cool. Let's go to the second one. Second one. Again, identify your shape. So what are you working with? What?
Cylinder.
Cylinder, beautiful. Volume is equal to pi r squared h. So you need 2 things. You need a radius and you need a height. What is your radius of that cylinder?
4.
Good, you took the diameter and cut it in half, so good, 4 squared. And what is your height?
15.
Should be 15, good. There's nothing left to do than just plug it in your calculator. What'd you get?
753.6.
Yeah, I had 0.9, so I guess it just depends, but yeah.
Is it okay if it was, since it's 753.98, that I rounded it up to 754?
Yeah, That would be fine. And feet cubed. Questions before we move on? Those are always easier, right? The cylinders and cones are always easier. Okay. Let's do. All right. You're going to find the volume. This is nice. They give you some details about it. You're going to find the volume of the right square-based pyramid. So they already did the work for you. It is considered a square pyramid. The weird thing on this one, I'm actually going to draw it because I think it's... On this one, they tell you that your slant height is 5. We talked about slant height yesterday. Where's the slant height at?
On the side.
On the side of it. So over here, on the side of your pyramid, is a slant height of 5. What's the matter?
It's cold.
I know. And they tell you down here that you have a 6. Let's see, pyramid. What's our formula for pyramid?
Base times height over 3.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So 1/3. In the directions it tells you what's the shape of your base. Square. So if you have to find the area of the square, what are you going to do? Length times width. What is our length? What's our width?
6.
6 times 6. Let me redo that. So 6 times 6 times the height of the pyramid. Do we have the height of our pyramid?
No.
We have a slant height, and we have the bottom of the pyramid. Where's our height at if I had to draw it in? From here,
Down.
straight down. That's my height. What are you going to do with that? Pythagorean theorem. Is that going to create a right triangle?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have your height that we don't know. We have our slant height of 5. What can we put on the bottom of that triangle?
6.
Not 6, 3, exactly. The whole thing is 6, cut it in half, so just 3. How are we doing with that? Okay. Pythagorean theorem would say h squared plus 3 squared equals 5 squared. Because 5 is my hypotenuse. H squared plus 9 equals 25. H squared is equal to 16. So h is equal to 4. So now you can take 4 and plug it in. So go ahead and do your multiplication. So 6 times 6
36.
times 4, and then times 1/3 or divided by 3.
48
And what's our label?
millimeters cubed.
Cubed. 48 millimeters cubed. Good deal. How are we doing with that one? Okay. You guys did well. You knew to do the Pythagorean theorem, which makes me happy. That was good. All right, last one is a cone, right? All right. So volume is equal to 1/3 pi r squared h. So 1/3 times pi times, what is the radius of that cone? 3.1 times, what is the height of that cone? Yeah, you actually get the height this time because it's in the middle of it. So 8.4. There's a whole lot of nothing fancy to do there. Just plug it in. Either using 3.14 or using your pi button. I don't really care. whichever one you want to use.
Did we multiply or divide it by 3?
Did you plug all of this in already?
Yeah.
Then you're either going to multiply by 1/3 or you're going to divide by 3. Whichever one is easiest for you. What'd you get?
80.
80 even? 80? 81?
Might be wrong.
I have something a little bit higher than that.
I
I had 84.5. What'd you get? Yeah.
You got that right.
What are my units? Inches cubed? Oh, I bet I know what you did wrong because it's my fault because I didn't write it. It should be 3.1 squared. Ah, I bet that's what, and so that's probably my fault.
Yeah.
Yep. No, it totally is. It's my fault. I didn't write it. So yeah, that would change things a bit. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. That's my fault. All right. Are you ready for your favorite? You got some story problems?
I'm confused on like
Oh, go
the
ahead.
sequence that I have to do. So like I did 3.1 squared, which is 9.61.
Uh-huh.
And then do I multiply the 8.4 or do I multiply by the 1/3 next? I don't like
Because it's all multiplication, it does not matter what order you do it in. Because remember from way back at the beginning with our properties, multiplication is commutative, so order doesn't matter. Does that help, Christian? Okay. Can you wait? I've got 2 more story problems. Okay, and then you can be the first one to go. Unless I already promised that to somebody else, but I don't remember. Christian, are you okay? Can I move on or not?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Word problems. A Hershey Kiss. The actual size is a cone that is 0.8 inches wide and 0.8 inches tall. What is the volume of 1,500 Hershey Kisses? Round your answer to the nearest whole number. What's up?
I just let's see the 1,500.
Okay. So, cone, we already know our formula. Okay. So to find the volume of just one kiss, which is where we're going to start, what would be your radius?
0.4 inches?
Why 0.4? You're absolutely right.
Because it says that it just says that the cone is 0.8 inches wide, and it didn't like specify that as the radius.
So if they tell you it's 0.8 wide, that's like saying you have your diameter. You need the radius, so just divide it in half. So 0.4. And then what height did they give you? 0.8. All right. Calculator work. It is a very small decimal number, so if that's what you're getting and you think you're wrong, you're probably not. It should be a small decimal value. Anyone brave enough to talk? Go ahead.
I got 0.1.
I'm going to ask for a couple more decimals, but yeah.
0.13. No, yeah, 0.1339.
I have 404, just depends. Sure, that's fine. Okay, are you done?
Wait, how many do you actually need to like include?
I think this is the complete one, isn't it? Without being rounded?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah,
No,
It's not the complete one.
it's not the complete one.
That's why.
there's more.
It's more. Yeah.
I would say, because you don't have any numbers in front of the variable, at minimum, give me 2 decimal places. At minimum. If you do use just 0.13, your number or your answer is going to be off by about 5 cubic inches, though, because of rounding it,
Okay.
which is fine, but it's just going to be different. So we're not done, right? What are we doing?
Multiplying that by 1,500.
Multiply that by 1,500, yep.
Are Hershey Kisses even in the shape of a cone?
Yeah, aren't they?
Kind of, but
The bottom is round.
Yeah.
Okay, but the top isn't like, I don't know.
It's like-
They come to a point at the top.
It comes to a point, but then in the middle it does like that
It,
weird
it like
thing.
curves in the middle. It like goes like that. It doesn't go like that.
It's not straight, there's like a curve
goes
to
like
it.
that.
Alright. So it's a close approximation.
Okay.
I got 200.96.
I had 201.1, 20, what is it? You had 200.6.
Yeah.
If you
But
just,
200.96.
okay, so that's okay. If you use just the 0.13, I think somebody in my last class said that they got 195.
Yeah, I did that when I tried
Yeah.
to just open.
It just
And then did you get like the 195?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you just use the first two decimals places, then it's 100.
Yep, exactly. What is my label? Inches. Inches cubed. Are you two okay over there?
Yeah.
What is happening? I'm concerned. Alright, we good? Last one. Has some maybe harder stuff in it, I actually think. The height of a square pyramid is 7 inches less than the side length of the square base. So do we actually know the height? No, we do not. If the base area is 81 square inches, what is the volume of a pyramid? So, volume of a pyramid, volume is equal to 1/3 area of your base times your height. Here's the nice part. Do we already know the area of our base?
Yes.
Because they straightforward give it to us. What's the area of our base? 81. So we know 1/3 times 81. The problem is we already know that we don't know the height. Is that fair? Okay. Square pyramid. I know you guys aren't big fans of drawing. I will draw it. I encourage you to, but that's up to you. So you've got a square pyramid. We need to find this measurement, right? We need to find our h, our height.
7 inches less than this.
What is our height? Say, read that sentence.
7 inches less than the side length of the square base.
So it is 7 inches less than this side. Do we know that side's measurement?
Yes.
Not yet.
Or not? No.
Can we find it though?
Yeah.
How are you gonna find it?
Ooh.
No.
Not Pythagorean theorem.
I know.
Olivia.
Okay, so basically the base is the side length to the second power, so then you find the square root of the base.
Area is equal to length times width, but area is equal to, it's squared because it's a square. And what do we know area is? 81. Does this look like your bell work?
Oh my god.
Yes. So what is your x? 9. So you can tell me that that side is 9. So you're one small step away. What is your height going to be then?
2.
Why 2?
Because it's the side minus 7, and if 9 is the side and 9 minus 7 is 2.
It says 7 less than. Less than means subtraction. So 9 minus 7 is 2. 2 is your height. You look frustrated or annoyed. What happened? You're okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Multiply that and give me an answer.
54
What'd you say? I think someone just said it and it's right. 54
inches cubed.
inches cubed, yeah.
I got 6.
You got what?
I got 6.
You get 6.
Did you divide or divide by?
Did you do 81 times 2?
No, I did 9 times.
You gotta do 81, because this is the area of your base.
Okay, yeah.
So that would make a difference. Now, did you still have a question or not?
No, I figured it out.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
Why
So-
is it so cold in here?
I don't have the answer to that. I can answer a lot of things about math, but not temperature. All right. That is all that you need to know for volume. Your homework, remember, today is your study guide because you have a test for me on Monday, right? Why are you making a face at me, Katie?
This is a test.
Oh, stretching your arms?
Yeah, I've been making the faces.
Yes, how do you stretch
Why are you
your
making faces
face?
at me?
Can I go now?
Because
Yes, go ahead.